Overwatch is a game that has undergone many changes ever since development. From humble beginnings that started with scrapped elements from Project Titan that got shot in the field somewhere, to a full-fledged FPS competitive game that earned its stripes and a place under the spotlight for many years. Development started on 2013 and the game released on 2016, brought to you by none other than the nerd overlords themselves, Blizzard. You know, the WoW people? Yeah, who'da thunk? The concept for this game surprised a lot of gamers and raised a few eyebrows as well. This was quite a departure from what they were known for. However, this didn't stop the team from building a competitive arena experience with gorgeous aesthetics, an immersive world with lore galore, a diverse cast of characters that would make Twitter proud, and really fun gameplay. Seriously, this thing can be pretty addicting. Needless to say, people were very excited and they wanted a slice of that pie, if you know what I mean. What's cooking good looking? Until the day came where Overwatch hit the scene and everyone just went,
"Don't hurry, loves. Cavalry's here."
The game had a very positive reception and quickly amassed a big fanbase for itself, sporting that good old Team Fortress 2 style of gameplay where it was work with your team, shoot the enemy, and complete the objective. Ta-da! A winner is you. The game itself is pretty easy to get into, but it's a little difficult to master, and this began a downward spiral for the more dedicated gamers.
Defeat.
I really love this game, I promise. People couldn't get enough of it, to the point that it even won the title of Game of the Year after its release, as well as other nominations and awards, which was a first for a game of its kind as far as I know. But anyway, despite the ups and downs that this game has gone through over the years, it has earned a place in my heart, and even though I am by no means a great player, I still find it very enjoyable. So as part of my self-imposed community service, I decided to make a little bit of an introduction to the game by a self-proclaimed beginner for beginners, and word it in simple terms for your understanding needs. You're welcome, everybody. Also, I want to make something really clear out the gate. This video is mostly for entertainment purposes, okay? I'm gonna try to express myself through my own words and my own experiences, as well as give some actual useful tips and advice to get people started in a bit of an educational manner. If I do get something wrong, and we all know I will, feel free to correct me in the comments below in a polite manner, because God knows that we already have a problem with gatekeeping in the game and we don't need none of that crap here. Also, I want to make note that I will be referring exclusively to today's iteration of Overwatch, aka Overwatch 2, for obvious reasons. I know we all miss our 6v6, and I know we all miss our loot boxes, and I know we totally miss the good old days of Symmetra Car Wash, but we have to get over it, you guys. It's been over a year now. We have to move on. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is Overwatch? Lore-wise, Overwatch was a group composed of the most skilled heroes working together as a countermeasure to a global threat that would be known as the Omnic War. These Omnics were supposed to be a mechanical workforce that would revolutionize the world, but one day they turned rogue, attacking humanity relentlessly. As such, it was up to Overwatch to protect the world from this sudden invasion and set everything to rights. That's about the gist of it. Look, I know the lore goes much deeper than that, obviously, but if I were to cover it all entirely here, we'd be out here all day, and I got shit to do. So I'm just giving you the basics here. Luckily, there are lots of resources that you can access for the low price of free. To catch up on it, and I'll do you a solid and link you the wiki in the description with all the material you need. You're welcome. Also, make sure to watch the animated shorts and trailers that they upload in the YouTube. The quality is so freaking good, it looks like it was ripped right out of a Disney movie for reals. Links below. But anyway, if all you care about at the end of the day is shooting the big bats with the funny monkey from the meme, all you need to know is that the goodies be goodin' and the baddies be baddin', go figure. I say this because, while the story and lore are heavily referenced in the game through banter between characters in certain locations, the focus of the game itself is shoot the other team till you win and nothing else matters. Gameplay wise, Overwatch is to the date a 5 vs 5 FPS competitive arena shooter game, or at least that's what I like to call it, you do you, where your goal is to complete the objective that the game tells you to do, and then you do it until one team wins. Pretty simple. Of course, no game is complete without a cast, and boy does this game have it. By the time of release of this video, you have about 39 heroes to choose from, and with more coming out in the future. Each one with their own set of weapons, abilities, and questionable fashion choices to spice things up a little.
She's feeling kind. She
Right now, you have 3 flavors of roles at the moment. You have your tanks, who are the chunky guys, your damage or DPS, which is pretty self-explanatory, and your supports, the peeps who bring in the healy wheelies and dish out the hurdy wordies. No 2 heroes play the same way at all, and just because you're stuck in one role, it doesn't mean that you cannot release your inner demon and lay waste on the field. Now don't get me wrong, it's still important to stick to your main job, but keep this in mind. Just because you're the team's wall, it doesn't mean that you can't also bring in the pain train, so go crazy, go stupid. While it's a good thing to take some time to pick your mains and favorites and master them as much as you can, I also recommend that you get out of your comfort zone and give other heroes a spin, you big baby. I only say this because there may come a time where you feel like you're on top of the world, racking up kills with Widowmaker, you're hot shit, only to get a Sombra come out of nowhere and harass you for the rest of the match and... See, just like that. What I mean is that every character has a hero that counters them. That being said, just because you picked a counter to someone, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll win the encounter. There is no such thing as the most OP character in the game, but with a little asterisk on top, as it falls down to skill in the end, and if you don't know what you're doing or what this funny looking bell does, you're gonna die. On the subject of dying, and I can't stress this one enough, you will die. You can try to dodge and you can try to run away, but at one point or another, you will get eliminated. It's nothing unheard of course. This game is designed for people to fall and respawn back at the spawn area, but I will still go ahead and tell you that if you want to complete the objective, please try to stay alive. One thing you might notice from many players is their lack of, spatial awareness, to put it mildly. 1 second, you see them running into the objectives, stand out in the open, they shoot at the tank who's standing there menacingly, only for this to happen.
Target locked.
So please, for the love of God and everything that is holy, please start playing smarter, people, please! Always have an exit for the current situation or encounter, or at the very least have walls and corners to take the bullets for you, because I'll let you in on a little secret there, bucko. If you take 0 damage and your enemies take all the damage, you win.
Success!
Who would have thought that 0 plus 0 damage equals 0 damage as opposed to 1 plus 1 damage equals 2 damage? Math is hard, I know. Speaking of objectives, there are different kinds of game modes. Also, please grab onto something because this may sound like gibberish. Every time you queue for a match, you will randomly end up with an escort map where one team pushes a payload to the end of the map and the other team tries to stop them, a control map where both teams have to claim one spot of the map until the timer runs out, a hybrid map which is a combination of the previous 2, the one we don't talk about, or a flashpoint map, which is similar to Control, but instead of one spot of the map, you kinda have to do it 3 times, and each time you do it, the point changes places within the map. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I know I just pelted your pretty little ears with a lot of big words, but I'm sure you can figure it out yourself, you're a big gamer. Also, I have to add that by the time of release of this video, they're going to be adding a new game mode called Clash in the near future, so yeah, keep that in mind too. Something I forgot to mention before is that during a match, every hero will build up a personal ability called an ultimate, or simply ult if you want to feel all big and fancy about it. These ultimates are mostly devastating attacks or AoE effects that can help turn the tide of battle depending on when and where you use them. They charge over time, and whenever you inflict damage to your enemies or patch up your allies. Please don't waste them on the first opportunity you get. Instead, save them for a team fight to help create space, or if you're sure you can secure a few eliminations. Just don't waste them, but don't hold on to them forever either. Something worse than a misused ultimate is an unused ultimate. Play smarter, not harder. It's really that heckin' easy. These ultimates are really heckin' versatile. They can even allow you to be extremely creative with their use. These can range from aimbot to wall hack to pressing the letter Q and winning automatically. Just how Ma used to make them. Also, after a match, if you were the very best like no one ever was, the game will reward you with a special little highlight called a play of the game. This highlight will simply show everyone the most remarkable thing you did during the match, even if it was just an accident, and tell other people that they need to get good if they want one of their own to hang it on the fridge and make mama proud of them for once. And hey, are you paying attention? Because what I'm about to say is gonna be on the test tomorrow. You wanna know how you get more plays of the game? By winning matches. Wanna know how you win matches? By doing the objective. I'm sorry everyone, but this is something that has to be said, and I am tired of pretending it's not. Consider this your goddamn PSA. Chasing kills doesn't win games. Completing objectives wins games. As in, the thing the giant letters tell you to do once the map f***ing loads. Eliminations are only a means to that end, forehead. I swear, if I get someone else in my game chat telling me the opposite, I will implode. This isn't even a meme. I am 100% serious, guys. Nobody cares how cracked you think you are if you think you're pressuring the backline or flanking other DPS while the point is alone, only to keep dying in a corner with nothing but your broken pride, a slice of humble pie, and the sensation that everyone in your team hates you because we do. If no one is standing on the point, you're gonna lose. So what are you gonna do? Can you say stand in the f***ing point? Muy bien! The only moment where chasing kills does matter a lot is during overtime. Overtime will trigger when someone on the opposing team stays on the objective while the timer is done with the countdown, so that's the moment you go wild and you fill those suckers full of holes. Also pray to God that you're not the one getting filled with holes. In the grand scheme of things, Overwatch is a team-based game, and teamwork is the word of the day. Sure, sometimes not everyone has the same skill level, and sure, sometimes we'll have our off days, but that's nothing that communication and cooperation can't fix. Teamwork makes the dream work, everybody. You can always hop into the voice chat to strategize with your team, or you can use the text chat if you hate people. The game also has this very useful pinging system that lets you warn everyone about anything you're seeing, such as enemy locations, time till your abilities or ult will be charged, ask for help if you're under attack or need someone to kiss ya boo boo, and so on. The point is, there's no reason you can't communicate with your team, so use these options as you see fit. Believe me, the chat is a wonderful tool that players should use more often. Sadly, the only people who apparently know how to use it are those kinds of people. Yikes. I'm not gonna say anything, guys, but I really hope you know that you're awful. Now that you get the basic gist of the game, allow me to give you some useful tips to make your matches go a little more smoothly. Clearing challenges is easier if you play with friends, because that usually means better coordination. So take some rope, prepare a chair, grab the snacks, and make sure your friend never leaves. These challenges will give you massive Battle Pass XP if completed in bulk, so get grinding. Some maps may be a little big, and at first you might get a little lost if you navigate aimlessly, but they're easy to remember and exploring them might offer you a vantage point that not many may know, so always remember the important landmarks and plan accordingly. Sometimes knowledge is half the fight. Certain turrets and pylons can be attached to the payload, wink wink. You have infinite ammo, use it. You have cooldown restricted abilities, don't waste them. Upon getting eliminated, you can get a glimpse at your killer's ult charge, so keep your team informed and be alert. Please, for the love of God, use healing packs. They're literally everywhere, and it's not your support's job to take care of you every time you make a dumb move that could have been avoided. If you keep dying to a certain character or team comp, consider switching heroes in the spawn room. Sometimes all you need is to tackle problems from a different angle. Always stick close to your team. Getting cornered by the enemy is never good, and if you keep getting yeeted out of the map too much, you're gonna cost your team that little bit of space you could have created if you had been there to be protected. Basically, stop blaming your tank. Sometimes it really is just a skill issue. Use walls or structures in the map to shield you from bullets. You see a car, you get behind it. No structures, get behind your payload. Your nearest Denny's, you get behind it. Again, if you don't get hit by the enemy and your enemy gets hit all the time, you win the fight. And the same can be said for high ground. It's easier to shoot someone or throw abilities at them when they're below rather than when they're above. If you're feeling insecure about how to use a certain character, the game has a tutorial mode where it shows you the basics of the game itself, a practice range with bots to help you get more comfortable with weapons, abilities, and ults, and it also has a versus AI mode if the PvP is looking scary. Also, it has custom game mode where you can make your very own match if you want to try something specific, or if you want to play some fun little games made by the player base, you do you. If you get tired of the same old quick play and competitive matches, you can also play the arcade, which are like the regular games, but they tend to have a special rule set that can result in fun, chaotic messes. You know, in case you want to spice things up. Every character announces their ult when they use it, so keep your ears open. Unless you can shut it down, run for the hills. Also, while we're on the topic, Junkrat's tire can be broken if you shoot at it. If you're feeling bold, go nuts, but if not, then dig a hole in the ground, hide in it, and never come out until this icon appears on your screen. I saved you a lot of trouble, you're welcome. So with all of that out of the way, I hope your brain can hold all of it for now. I know it was a lot, but I try to be as brief as possible and only focused on the basics, because God knows that whatever I say right now will become obsolete in the next patch notes they release for the thing. Oh god. So while Overwatch has seen better days, and good lord it has let itself go, this skin costs how much? It's plain to see that a lot of people still enjoy it for what it is, and there's no shame in that. Everyone knows that lately the company has been pretty problematic, to say the least, and much of the game's content has been reused content from Overwatch 1, and it has also been very lacking. But lately there's also been some pretty good steps forward into shaping the game back into its former glory and continuing the hype train to what everyone hopes are better things. Like with everything in life, there's the good apples and the bad apples, and it really shows that the Overwatch team is very dedicated and has poured their heart and soul into this game, keeping it alive and trying to deliver upon the expectations of their fans. Good job, guys, you deserve a round of applause. Yup, the future is looking bright, and slowly but surely it's getting there. I just hope that I am proved right and that this video doesn't age like rancid cheese. Even though we all know it will. Plus, I really hope it gets more people on board with supporting the team and the game, because the world could always use more heroes, and heroes never die. Well, hello there. You made it to the end card. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed working on it, and if you really liked this video and all of the other ones that I've worked on, you should consider subscribing to the channel as well as giving like and also sending it to other people to watch it. I will keep working on videos like this, and I also have other projects that I want to work on, so please stay tuned for those. Alright, goodbye.